Well, you basically read most of it.
Mhm.
Context is that ran his tags, ran the registered owner attached to the tag. Both came back suspended. The vehicle was on, but it wasn't moving. I didn't actually see him drive. Would it have been reasonable to assume that he was actually driving? And this is at a gas station.
Well, you're at a gas station, right? How,
Yep.
how the hell did you get there, right? So I think earlier in the day or the last class, somebody said whether it fall the UFO or the car fall out of the sky or something like that, right? So yeah, I think that's pretty dang reasonable. And I think we didn't finish up reading the question, but you made contact with the driver, right? And you said, hey, where are you going or where are you coming from? Something like that, correct?
Yeah, he denied that he was actually driving the vehicle, but when I asked him before that, he said he was going somewhere. Well, that seems inconsistent with what he said later.
Mm-hmm. Because you made the justification for the stop was what, expired registration, I think, if that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make contact with this guy. And I think about a convenience store, a gas station. There's probably 1, 2 access points to the public roadway. You don't usually live at the gas station. People are usually in and out pretty quickly, type stuff. And usually if somebody stays there for a long time, though, then the convenience store probably get irritated or call us anyway. So I think when you start, again, looking at that totality of circumstances, it's pretty reasonable to think that, he was the one there. He's in the driver's seat when you make contact with him. And then, that admittance of I'm going to my friend's house or coming to my friend's house, whatever it was. I don't see an issue with that. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I mean, not at all, right? When we talk about probable cause, although courts are not giving it a strict legal definition, it's a fair probability that this subject is engaged in the criminal activity alleged, right? The specific criminal activity. And so you say, is there a fair probability that this dude drove the car here? If you took a reasonable, ordinary person and said, this is the factual, not legally specific, but factual, reasonable things that people rely on. Yeah, I mean, the dude drove the car. And so you've got PC, absolutely. You got probable cause to arrest him for these, they are criminal violations, right? Suspended license.
I think registration, and then I'll find out. Yeah, Tim, you had a suspended license. Is that right?
And so you've definitely got
reason. Yeah, they're both misdemeanors.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So there you go. Right. Now, is that going to be proof beyond a reasonable doubt? Is a defense attorney going to be able to get him off because he's going to say, "Hey, did you ever see him drive?" I don't know. Maybe. But you've got your PC, so you can hook him up, and then you can conduct your additional investigation. It's going to be nothing more than a security camera footage of him pulling into the parking spot of his gas station, and you're good, right?
Hey, Tim.
Thank you.
Something that I think we talked about before was that case Kansas versus Glover that came out 2-3 years ago. I think it was 2019, something like that, where the cops ran the license plate. It came back as the driver having a suspended driver's license, and they effectuated the stop based on that information. He was the registered owner. He did have a suspended license, but he fought this thing, and the courts end up looking at this as like, it's registered to this guy. It's registered to the person that has this car. Is that reasonable to think, in most circumstances, you're the one driving your car if it's registered to you? But the courts did make a stipulation in that as well, unless there is contrary information or something like, you run it and it's registered to John Ween and he's cruising along and there is a female driving the car, the sole occupant in there. Now that's going to be contrary to what the information you have. The court said, hey, take that into consideration. But if it's like kind of looking at that totality of stuff going on there, I think everything we said, we're good to go.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tim.